Live chat. Bull. There we go. Now I can see the numbers. 0.0. Let's we'll give away a free PT belt to the first person. Big bank, little bank. You win a PT belt. You have to wear it when you're jogging on base though, okay? Okay, cool. 1427. Holy cow. All right. This is the viewer request Q&A, meaning that I just had a good call. Had a good call after the call with the good call with the good call. So I wanted to put it out to y'all. See, hey, what do you guys want to talk about? Okay. So I typically do that in the community section. Angry Patriot, how am I today? I'm tired but good, and I'm getting better in the month of March. March is going to be a low impact month for us. So, what's up, Corey Bone Cutter? So anyway, point being, I've selected 4 questions from the Q&A or from the community section. And so what we're going to do is run down these questions. Mark Chase, howdy, brother. How are you? I'm fabulous, T. Okay, we're back. Lucky Luciano's here. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is addictions post SHTF. And this was a question that came from the channel or the human. Let's talk about prepping. Going back to Panama City, the beginning of April, as long as the father is willing, that's what is happening. So let's talk about prepping. Is the person who asked this question, and their question was, what are we going to do about addictions post SHTF? So I've actually for in video. There are 2 different sides to this coin: your addictions and everybody else's addictions. So on your end, man, if you do things that are healthy for you, stop doing them. Okay, and that's really easy for you to say. Yeah, man, like I used to smoke cigarettes. Stop was the last time. Chewed snuff for almost 2 decades, 15 years at least, and just stopped. So, you know, yeah, and people ask me, what kind of beer do you like? Beer that looks like that. It needs to be approximately the color of my shirt, and I like it. So, here's the deal, right? There are things in your life right now, even sugar. Do you think tobacco would be good to barter with? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I actually tried to grow it here in Texas and failed miserably. Sugar, tobacco, alcohol, for sure, right? But what about the harder things? You know, even, I don't, I'm an open, less than enthusiast of Canadian Prepper, okay? But I saw he had a video out today about the top 10 reasons SHTF in America is going to be abysmal or something like that. And so I had a 4-hour drive. I was like, I'll listen to this thing, see if maybe we can get along. Truthfully, he made some decent points. Aname, shalom, sister. But one of the things he was talking about in that video was the fact that like 1 in 6, or I don't know if it's a fact, he said so. Hey, what's up, Shallow? He said 1 in 6 Americans is on some type of medication. What happens when that happens? So here's the deal, okay? There's things you can control, things you can't control. The things that you can control are you, all right? Starting with you. So what are you addicted to? Stop doing it. And if you can't stop doing it, yeah, coffee is a great, guilty right here. So guess who has lots of coffee? This guy right here, right? The things that you're addicted to, you need to mitigate that addiction as much as possible right now. Hey, Wes S is here. It's great to talk to you too, sister. You need to stop doing the things that are bad for you now, to the best of your ability. Okay. Now everybody else, It's going to be acting a little crazy. All right. This is one of the reasons. And listen, I got to turn the comments off for a minute because you guys know they distract me. So there we go. No, I failed miserably. Let's try again. There we go. All right. So everybody else is going to be acting crazy. And so if they're acting crazy, once again, the population density equation. Man, I'm in suburban North Texas right now. I actually almost shot a video on the drive about what is the loadout that I brought with me for this 200-mile trip from where I live to where I am now. Okay. So again, if you know that there's going to be people behaving badly, act accordingly. How do you avoid FEMA camps? My first clickbaity video ever. You don't go there. That's how you avoid a FEMA camp. You operate from positions of strength so you don't have to go there. How do you avoid a FEMA camp? That, okay? So it's the same thing. How do you deal with people who have addictions but don't have their addictive substances post SHTF? Don't be there, you know. And if they're your people in your tribe, your team, your mag, your community, your whatever, do the things. There's a guy on your team who chews a can of Coke a day. Stock up. Well, it'll be stale. You think that guy's gonna care? He's not gonna care. Vacuum seal that. Put it in a 5-gallon bucket. Won't matter. Okay. Tobacco, man. I'm telling you, tobacco is gonna be huge. I tried growing it in Texas, didn't work. I'm going to try growing it in Oklahoma, see what happens. But just have some of that on hand. Alcohol, I have an ethanol truck fuel still that I make ethanol truck fuel with. And it works, and it's delicious truck fuel. So, you know, you feed that thing corn and yeast and sugar, and you got truck fuel. So forth and so on. The medication is where I think things get a little bit side. Help people, okay? Help people. If they have an addiction to a substance that they really shouldn't be addicted to, I mean, there's hardcore addictions. Like if there's somebody in your life that's mainlining heroin, they need to stop ASAP, okay? Or Oxy or whatever. Okay, that needs to stop now. Sugar, yeah, that's an addiction, but that's something that we could probably navigate in SHTF. Our lack of sugar, our lack of heroin is going to be a much bigger problem. So it's push pull. Your addictions, you need to not have any now, or you need to plan for the ones that you do have now. And then everybody else's, if they're really bad addictions, you need to be doing the work now to move away from that. And then if they're less intensive, sugar, tobacco, maybe alcohol, those are things that you can stockpile without much issue. And then, so what do we do with addicts? If there's an addict in our life, we just can't fix them. That's a liability. That's just plain and simple. That's a liability. It's a liability that you're taking on. So if you can fix them now, fix them. If you can't, you need to think long and hard about, do I want no addicts? Who's probably less than dependable right now, less than trustworthy, not pulling their own weight. They're a burden now. Not saying they're a bad person, but they're a burden now. Do I want to deal with that post-event? So that's my thoughts on that. I do actually have a video on that. It's way back channel, so you guys have to go back channel and find it. Okay, turn comments back on just for a hot minute. The next thing we're going to be talking about is from Boom Shakalaka. Bowman, what's up, man? So, Ross, do the email things. Drop the news. I will. When the news is the news, I'll drop it. Hey, NWA Prepper, what's up, man? Internet, yeah, I'm in Texas, man, the land of milk and Wi-Fi. I need to bring my truck by for some fuel. What's up, Michael McLaughlin? What's going on, man? How do you prep when you aren't an adult? I saw that comment, the average lad. We will get there, okay? I actually have a video for prepping for teens and college kids. It just dropped a week ago. You should go try that. Go check it out. How do we cleanse the nanobite from the chemtrails? With fire. With fire. Fixing the bird shooting guns. All right, cool. Aname. Rucking with 11-year-old kids. We have a video on that. You should watch the video Being Out with Babies. Now, yeah, PJ did a video talking about younger preppers and, the rucking with 11-year-old kids. Conditioning first. Your pack weight, anybody's pack weight, should never exceed 30% of the 100 pounds. That'd be no ruck. You're going to be brand new to rucking, so I'd have some foot care for hot spots like 100-mile-an-hour tape or quit texting me, Sasquatch. Don't you know I'm live streaming? 100-mile-an-hour tape or moleskin or any, blister pads, anything like that. Have that. Have good footwear. Carry water and incidental calories, okay? Because you're just conditioning right now. And that's going to be stuff like Gorp, granola, oatmeal. Find a place to ruck, okay? And start with probably a half an hour. And so what you're looking for at first is the ability to just go a half an hour. It's not so much the distance that you're covering that half and harden your shoulders and probably your lower. Where it becomes exercise is when you can't talk to the person next to you. If you're walking, if you can for a hot minute, that'd be great. Just for like a. Sorry, guys. All right. So as we were talking about, rucking with kids, 15-20% for an hour, and then start looking for distance. Okay, how far can you go? In an hour, it would be great if you could do 4 miles in an hour. That's a 15-minute mile under load. And then up the weight, okay? Foot care is like super important here, okay? Wear shoes that you've broken in before or boots, and decent hiking boots is what I would probably recommend. Like there are super ultra high speed tactical boots, that are more like gym shoes, high top gym shoes. You don't need to spend $300 on those. You don't want your steel toe Rocky work boots to hike in. And you really should probably not, unless your feet are already destroyed, probably not go in just your regular sneakers or running shoes because you're carrying a load. So decent hiking boots would be what I would get, and I would break them in before you go rucking. Wear them around for a few weeks everywhere you go. Just wear them around for a few weeks. And then again, have foot care with you because you are going to get hot spots, and if you don't treat them, it's going to suck. It's going to suck even worse. But that's part of rucking, right? You just get used to that. So rucking is part of my exercise regimen. I carry anywhere between 60 and 77 pounds these days. At one point, my total loadout was 97 pounds, including line 1, line 2, line 3, and I was rucking for time. So the other thing to remember is with 11-year-old kids, they're not as hardcore or bought in as you are. So the moment that they start to get cranky, you might want to consider turning it around, okay? Because if you're halfway in and they start getting cranky, you got halfway out to go again. So things to consider. But man, if you can get an hour under load, you're going to be way better off than the vast majority of the North American population. So no more than 15, maybe 20% of their body weight to start. Your load should never exceed 30% of your body weight. Have good footwear and good foot care on your person. Carry water. Wear appropriate clothing for the weather in layers that you can take off as you start to warm up, put back on as you cool down. Because if it's this time of year and it's cold, you don't want to be getting sweaty because you're going to get super cold super quick. And depending on where you live, that could actually get real for you. So layer appropriately, proper foot care, proper footwear, carry hydration, carry incidental calories, and then, if you need to, okay? That's intro to rucking as far as bear is concerned. We'll go back to live chat. Okay, I'm here. Remember how much better this is than AOL. AOL was the worst. Remember growing up? Hey, C103. Marlo Heredia. Marlo. Oh, baby. Let my people go. Don't you know, Marlo? Good evening, brother. How are you? Jehodadek Maccabeus. Shalom, brother. So, yes, Josh, that's exactly what it sounded like. Um, I remember as a young man when I discovered that there were the naked ladies on the internet with dial up. Talk about frustrating, man. Talk about frustrating. It's like loading. It's like, man, that's a fine forehead. That forehead looks great. Oh, she's got a nice nose too, right? So, do you think cannabis would be a good trade in SHTF? Yes, until the cartels show up and take it. Brian Holmes, what's up, man? The beer this evening is Franconia. Oh, what were they called? The community boards? You know what I'm talking about. Before the internet was the internet and you had to log in. Yeah, I remember 5400 baud modems. Those were horrendous. Or 2400 baud. Yeah, 2400 baud. Wow, baud. That's not even forums. Yeah, and they were no, but there was I remember in bulletin board. Thank you, bulletin boards. The Sasquatch is here. Why you texting me when I'm live streaming, bro? You ought to know better. Bulletin board services. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yep. C:// DOS prompt. Do you think it's a good idea to talk so openly about an SHTF scenario? For me, yes. For the rest of y'all, nah. Listen, I'm out there, okay? I don't know how to not be out there. So, yeah, wearing a weighted vest. Yeah, probably. I'll tell you. Next, Audra, and this was a really good question. 2400 baud was crazy fast after 300. Yep. Be-doo, 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 be. Nice forehead. Oh, she's blonde. And homesteading, getting them onto homesteads. I thought this was a cool question. And so I'm going to do the, it's still nonstop buffering. Sorry, man. R2D2 with Tourette's. All right. So hide in chat for a hot minute. Audra, younger people on the homestead, getting them to the homestead. Basically talking about people, cooping, coming out of her, my peopling, but also attracting people, I think, away from the cities out into the country. And so I have some thoughts on this. Every culture has a counterculture, right? And so as we've seen technology grow and become more and more prevalent, going from 2400 baud modems to 4896. I remember, what was it, that 19.2? I remember the 19.2. Then 56K. I remember when 56K came out, they were like, nobody's ever gonna need that much bandwidth. It's like lightning speed, man. I remember the first time I installed 10/100 megabit LAN. They're like 100 megabit. Who needs that much power, man? Right. And I was like, now everybody's worried about 5G. But as technology grows, right, there's always a counterculture to the popular culture. And so even as technology has grown and things have become more centralized, more Instagram filters and more of that, there's been as well of people just going, you know what, I reject all this, I'm not doing it. Or I played the game, I'm totally worn out, I'm done, I'm going to the country. And so I do think there's an interest in younger people moving to the country. But where I see the issue, because I've run into this several times, is the dichotomy. Check. Question. Is the dichotomy is younger people tend to have horrendous credit scores and very little life experience. But they can work if they're willing to. Older people tend to have, but can't do the work. But younger people have a hard time tolerating the older people and vice versa. And so, really, what I would love to see is a stewardship program where an older couple has the land and a younger couple comes on board with them, and there's an agreement, whether it's a handshake deal or it's a physical contract or whatever, agreement for a period of 36 months. Y'all are going to live here on property with us, and we're going to these benchmarks, and these are the expectations. These are the ways that we do things, right? And I'd love to see, a couple, let's say a couple had 40 acres, right? An older couple had 40 acres. And after 3 years of help, right, with that younger couple contributing maybe 10 or 20 hours a week of their time to the running of the property, they get 5 acres, they get 10 acres. A piece of that gets broken off for them that they can then homestead that themselves, right? And develop these little fiefdoms on property, because there's a huge issue with the age of the modern farmer just getting older and older and older. There's nobody coming on board. There's not why we have such an increase in factory farming is the fact that there's a labor shortage in farming. Okay? Agriculturally, there's nobody showing up for work. They're not there. So, and it's a lot of work to run a small homestead, especially if you want it to be self-sustaining. Now, once you get the systems in place, you're just maintaining those systems, but you have to get those systems in place. So I think an opportunity exists. I would love it if one of you bright people out there, you can have this, just make this happen. An app or a forum or a bulletin board service at the C-Prompt and DOS or whatever, I don't care. Figure out a way to connect older, maybe less technologically savvy farmers with younger, more technologically savvy hipster wannabe homesteaders or whatever, anybody who's trying to come out of her my people, so that we can take the people that have the labor and join that labor with the people that have the materiel, the land, the resources, the bandwidth per se, and put them together. And so that's one thought. And the other thing that I see a lot, credit, and I'm not saying you should buy land on credit, so let's get that straight. But their options are limited, tend to fall into the owner financed realm of land. And with the owner financed land, a lot of that land sucks. Just been my experience, at least in my area of the country. It's owner financed for a reason. And yeah, it might only be $300 a month, but it's $300 a useless. It's pitched like this. It's all rock, no dirt. There's no water. There's no soil. There's just the road is dirt that was pushed in with a D8, and there's rocks the size of my head in the middle of it. And you're not getting in and out without a four-wheel drive pickup truck. If most young people don't own good options out there for financing, but in my experience, that a lot of those are less than. I would also love to see. Sorry, all smiles. I would also love to see the younger people please pray for me. Current have a house I bid, praying God to get it. Thank you. Roger that. Kevin Hurd. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your support, and we will. What area of the country are you in, Kevin? Yeah, major ag economy. So here's the thing, right? I'd love to see the younger people bringing permaculture ideology, Daytona Beach, Florida, 10-4, and we will keep your house covered in prayer. And I do hope you get it. Thank you. Sucks tonight, even without you being on there. It's spinning again. Sorry, man. So anyway, I'd love to see the younger people bringing permaculture to the older folks as well. Looks like a bad acid trip right now. What is up with that? Okay, that's cool. My internet is dying. Roger. 10-4. Later, Puzzleman. All right, so yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on younger people in homesteads. I wish that they would. I really wish that they would. And then we'll go. I'm sorry about the video quality, guys. I don't know what the deal with that is. Guy that comments. It's a good name. I can hear me though. Good, I can hear me too. And then Joseph Chapman asked, how do you prep when your spouse doesn't understand the need? So, hey, Right to Arms. Lots of questions. Trying to prep with the disability. Yes, I've actually done a couple of Patreon videos about that. All right. Wow, I'm getting all distracted. Prepper Nurse 1 has a Prepper Connecting app. Yay. Okay. Oh, Scott Brooks is here. Oh, no. Binary triggers. No. Toys. Spend that money on food. Scott Brooks, what's up, man? Y'all better behave. I made him a moderator. State of the Bear speech was good. Thanks, man. You're whatever, man. Hello. John Ishii, what's up, brother? All right, so listen, I'm going to hide the comments on my end for a minute so I can speak to Joseph Chapman, who asked, how do you prep when your spouse doesn't understand the need? That's really simple, okay? You just keep doing it. My spouse didn't get it for the first 5 or 6 years. She thought I was crazy. Everybody else thought I was crazy. My mom thought I was crazy. My friends thought I don't care. I just don't care. I will happily be the crazy guy if I'm the guy that's not dead, that's operating from a position of strength when everybody else around me is having issues. So you just keep going. You lead by example, okay? And then eventually your wife is going to figure out this isn't a fad. You have a conviction, and it would be great. And I looked at my wife in the eye. I said, listen, I would love it if you would actually help me with this, because there's things that you're way better at than I am. And so your help would be much appreciated. So lead by example. The flip side of that is don't be crazy. If your wife thinks you're crazy, it might be because you're crazy. So don't be, okay? And I would encourage you, I have to be logical in this. I have to be able to quantify, why am I doing this? Well, honey, it's not just that, Pakistan might land a nuclear warhead on my forehead, but it also could be an F5 tornado or a Category 4 hurricane or whatever, localized flooding. There's lots of reasons to be prepared, and general preparedness addresses a whole host of issues. So that's one thing. Don't be crazy. Lead by example. And then also explain the historicity of the situation here. Bad things have happened before. They will likely happen again. And our ignorance of the fact that they have happened does not negate the fact that they will likely happen again. Which are big words for saying, honey, it's been bad before, it could get bad again. We should think about these things. What are we going to do when we can't get to the store and buy Fido his favorite dog chow? What are we going to do when the trucks stop rolling? Haven't you seen when it snows, babe, and there's this much snow on the ground and everybody runs to the store and buys all the bread and milk? Because bread and milk plus snow is just the thing, apparently. Right, E? In New York? Right? It snows half a foot, no milk, no bread, maybe eggs, but probably not eggs. That's it. Sugar? Why do people buy sugar when the world's ending? It's gonna be fabulous. I love it. I get very verklempt when I don't have my sugar. It makes me almost sugar now. It's like, what are you talking about? Sugar? So, point being, this stuff happens. And so, just like you have life insurance, you have car insurance for the what if, right? preparedness is basically insurance. It's the best life insurance, in my opinion, you can have. Okay, because the payout's massive, meaning you don't die, ideally. And I would also encourage you to not be one of those preppers that has 18 guns and 422,000 rounds of ammo and a half a case of MREs. Okay, because if that is you, I understand why your wife isn't on board, because that's not a conviction, that's a hobby. Okay, you're preparing in the wrong direction on that. So as far as getting your spouse on board, just keep doing it and explain logically why you're doing it, right? The leader quantifies the vision. And if you're the leader of your home, you have to be able to explain, I'm doing this because this could be an issue because. Yes, honey, the reason I just bought 100 pounds of pinto beans is because 100 pounds goes into 3 buckets. And 3 buckets of pinto beans for the 2 of us is actually 45 days worth of food. So that's a plus side, right? And I know you don't like beans, but I don't like the idea of you being dead either. So in our hierarchy of needs here, my dislike of you dying exceeds your dislike of beans, okay? Okay, cool. Love you. What do you want to watch on TV tonight? Hand me another beer or whatever, okay? So lead by example. Be logical. Operate with a true conviction. Don't just buy toys. Putting the live chat back on. Live chat is back on. Okay, I'm here. But he knows he needs more guns. Shut up, Mark Chase. Wow, you're quite the excavator. Wish I had you over here in Tennessee. We're building our house this summer. If you're ever in Middle Tennessee, give me a holler. We'll feed you, put you up in your family for the night. 10-4. I have zero likelihood of being in Tennessee right now, but if that changes, I'll let you know. With those beans, you can create your own fuel. Yeah, you can give yourself, put the hose in the derriere and do the things. Hey, is Fletch here? Is Fletch here? Where's the Fletch? Where are you, Fletch? Speak to me, Fletch. Fletch? Verklempt. JC Fouts. Hey man, that was a great video. That was an awesome video response you did on the guitar, man. Like, I wanted my drum set so bad while I was watching that. I think this morning, was it that, I don't know, the days run together, but I think it was this morning, man. That was phenomenal, man. You're welcome, dude. It was tremendous, believe me. That video could have built the wall without Mexico even having to pay for it. Like, I loved it. So, thanks, man. And like, now I want to jam. Like, we need to do the thing, like where we, and then do the, that has to happen. Okay. And then the average lad, which is interesting. Metal will never die. Amen. It will just rust. The average lad asked prepping for teens. I have a video on this, okay? It's pretty recent. Train your body, train your mind, train your soul. Learn how to do the things without all the gear because your income sucks, okay? It's just a fact. As teens and young people, your income sucks. Unless your parents are wealthy and they handed you a debit card, in which case, just do the things, man. What if your husband is the one who isn't on board? I'm not trying to be the leader, but I won't sit and wait for him to get the picture. Then just listen, and I say this in all love, women have way more sway than they pretend to have. Sit them down and say, listen, babe, I love you, but I'm doing this, okay? The end. Maybe wink at them. Right? Honey, I'm preparing. Right? Or whatever. I don't know. Right? Use what you got. But y'all can persuade us way easier than we can persuade you. Right? I can try and, hey, Ozark Geek, what's up, brother? Rawr, exactly. Rawr. That'll work on men. It doesn't work on women. I can't go to my wife and be like, "Hey, babe, rawr," and she's like, "Shut up, get out. Did you do the dishes?" No, right? Doesn't work. My wife, on the other hand, can rawr. I'm like, "It's on. What do you want? Mercedes, Lamborghini, G5, G5. Here, take all the monies." Right? So. Right, Scott. Start with nice hands, escalate to knife hands as needed. Thank you, Cow Dog. Appreciate you, brother. Mad respect. Man, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, Diana, listen, you can be way more persuasive, okay? And it's, number one, use what you got. Number two, again, quantify the vision. Right? That's what the leader does. And maybe you're not the leader overall, but maybe in this case, you need to lead up the chain of command. Okay? Go to your husband and say, listen, this is a thing we need to do. This is a priority. In 20 years, if we never need to use this stuff, I'm giving you permission to laugh at me. But right now, I have a bone deep conviction that we have to do this. Rawr. And it's problem solved. Problem solved. Okay? So. That's my advice. I'm not saying it's good advice, but that's my advice. We need to talk. My wife. See, that's because she knows the deal. She's sitting there next to you because she's like, yeah, she knows what the deal is, right? She knows. Rawr. Uh-huh. All right. So yeah, that's the questions for this evening. We got a few more minutes. We can hang out. We can chat. I know I saw a bunch of questions go by, so might be our only option. Leaders don't start as leaders; they take someone else's spot. Well, and also, listen, nature abhors a void. So in some cases, you need a leader, and there isn't one. So somebody becomes the de facto leader. And we actually need to be ready for that. If there's no leadership, somebody becomes the de facto leader, whether they want to or not. So, is there such a thing as prepping too much? My keeps telling me I have too much water and food. Your what keeps telling you? Your gut, your wife, your friends, your pastor. Good evening, Chasing Life. I don't think you can, listen, big bank, little bank. I don't think you can have too much of pretty much anything, but it's all about a balance, okay? You can't have too much food and water. You just can't. But you also need to pay your bills, okay? You also need to make sure that you have a little bit of money in savings, right? You need a rainy day fund. What are you gonna do when the transmission falls out of your car, okay? Sister Francis, she's tremendous. Double knife hand. Everybody clap for Sister Francis and tell her how awesome she is. Go. You're awesome, Sister Francis. I need a wall of your awesome Sister Francis. Go. 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 Tell her you're awesome, Sister Francis. Go, or I'm turning it off right now. Turning it off right now. I'm reaching for the button. Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. All right. Good. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Cool. Yeah, she is awesome. All right. Oh, I love this game. You guys are awesome. Sister Francis is the greatest. So, yes, she's phenomenal. What were we talking about? Can you prep too much? No, you, ma'am, you're phenomenal. So, shalom and blessings. Say hi to the chillins for me. We totally just got held hostage there. Yeah, I know how to do that. Anyway. Yes, I think that you can prep too much. You can get out of balance, okay? A life should be worth living, okay? You do not want to prep to the detriment of your daily life. Okay, it's about balance. You need to pay your bills, right? You need to have a rainy day fund, but you also need to have your food and your water and all your, yeah, prepper chi, exactly, right? What's up, Titan Taylor? You need to have all the things, right? It's an everything game. It's not an either or game. It's an all of it game. And balance is the challenge, man. Believe me, believe me. I'm taking a month of balance right now in March, and of course it doesn't seem it because I'm live streaming right now. But live streaming is, shut up, Sasquatch. We don't have a ministry. We have an outreach. Go do push-ups. Marriage March, exactly. It's all about balance, man. It's just all about balance, and it's not easy, right? It's not easy, but it's simple. It's a feel. When something feels out of whack, okay, turn your attention over here, and while you're addressing this thing, something over here is going to be going crazy too. And so you deal with this, then you go look over here, and you deal with that. And while you're looking over here, some over here is going on, and that's life, man. Fit, healthy body, fit, healthy mind. C103, yes, I'm prepping too much. Work hard, prep hard, play hard, and love more. Balance. We got some Patreon videos coming up with C103. Double tapping Hillbilly. What's up, brother, man? You're awesome. I was on the phone with that guy that you told me about today, Double tapping Hillbilly, and we'll suffice it to say it'll be resolved Friday. That was an interesting phone call. So it was fun. Hey Bear, just came across your vids and loving them. Thoughts on Southwest Florida homestead bug out locations? Southwest Florida? You mean like near the water? I would be like, now there are some good people down there. I know this. But man, you need a bug out spot, okay, homeboy, because you're not. Yeah, that's me. That's right, local American. I know some good people down there. It's Florida, isn't it? All near the water. Exactly, Brad. And the water gets angry there. That's the problem. You're in St. Pete, man. Hey, is the Independent Bar still there downtown? Is it? Meredith's Mayhem? Is it? It used to be next to an Italian place. I forget what it was called. But the Independent. Phenomenal beer bar. I hope it's still there. It's down by the Holocaust Museum. Bear, you and the fam are awesome. No, you're awesome. Practical prepping for the ordinary folks. Ulfanar Tribesman, you're supposed to be resting up. Otherwise, we'd be doing this right now. Do I need to call you and yell at you? Because I will call you and yell at you. Please tell me you're like mostly horizontal. How do you feel about Pennsylvania? I like Western Pennsylvania. Eastern Pennsylvania is too much population density equation, okay? You are too close to too many people. Buzzard Roost, would it be wise to store your rice, wheat, beans, etc. with salt? Would take up airspace and absorb moisture? Maybe. I've never even heard about that. Never even thought about it, but that's a good idea. You should try it. We should try it. I like that. Strong people are harder to kill needs to be a t-shirt. Roger that. Yeah, I like Western PA more than Eastern PA a lot. There are way too many people near Eastern PA. Okay, so imagine if you're on the East Coast, right? If you're on the East Coast and things go bad, they can't go north. There's more people there. You can't go south. There's more people there. Can't go east, there's the ocean there, which leaves west, which is Eastern Pennsylvania. So for that reason, I don't love Eastern Pennsylvania. And because it's also within striking distance of New York City and Philly and Jersey and just blah, 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 things are not cheap there, okay? They're not as expensive as New York, but that's not saying a lot. A great place, a great website that we use in our consulting practices is called bestplaces.net, and it allows you to compare the cost of living for two different places. I use it constantly, bestplaces.net. So if you're looking at a place and you're like, I wonder how much it costs to live there, you can put in where you live, put in where you'd like to live, and just compare the cost. And in a lot of cases, people think, I can't afford to move. And then you look at the numbers and you go, hell, I can't afford not to move, man. That's phenomenal. So, yeah, I like Western PA a lot more than Eastern PA. Plus, I do kind of have a thing against Eastern PA because when I was cutting timber back in the day, a lot of Eastern Pennsylvania loggers came across the border into upstate New York and were stealing work from us, undercutting us. And I don't blame them. Times were tough and they did what they had to do. But I'm always going to have a little bit of grudge there, you know. I was trying to feed my family too. So I'd see those PA license plates and I'd get all, get out of here, man. Yeah. Loco American. This might backfire, but why did you name your channel Bear Independent? There's a video on that as well. $15 for the next case of 45 or coloring supplies for the kiddos. Thank you for your knowledge, man. Knife hands, dichotomy, next question. Thank you, Eric O. Man, you're tremendous. You're a fine human being. I really appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. I actually need some more 45. I had a range day yesterday. No, 2 days ago. So thank you. Thank you very much. Border jumpers. Yeah, that's right, brother. How did I get the name Bear Independent? All right, I'm gonna riff on that for a hot minute. So I'm gonna do the comments off thing. Channel used to be called Squid and Bear, and because it was me, Bear, and my buddy Squid. And if you want to follow another great channel, go to Squid Actual. His logo looks like my bear logo, but it's a squid. Imagine that. And he's an awesome brother and an awesome friend, and just love him to death, would jump bullets for him. But he lives here in North Texas, and 4-ish months ago, when I stopped living here in North Texas full time, we split. It just didn't make sense anymore. And we actually investigated ways to keep going as Squid and Bear, and the point is it wasn't going to work. So I went off on my own. He went off on his own, and no animosity, just is what it is. So, but I was struggling with how do I rebrand this, right? What do I do? And I was riding in the car with my wife one day, just talking about what am I about, right? What am I about? Well, I'm independent from the Big C church. I don't agree with doctrines and dogmas of man. I'm independent politically. I despise Democrats. And I just about can't stand Republicans. I'm just politically independent, right? I am societally, I don't like big cities. I don't like suburbia. I tend to do things with a very close-knit group of people. Foundational philosophy here is the 4 quarters philosophy. If you haven't watched that video here, you should. But to break it down Barney style for you real quick, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Meaning I'd rather have 4 highly valuable people than 100 people that are damn near worthless. Okay? So I tend to operate independent of large groups of people as well. And that's me. That's the way I've been created. That's the way I've lived my life. That's the way I've worked. Yeah. I tend to be a very independent person. I love the Declaration of Independence, the best breakup letter of all time. I am a patriot. I believe in the United States Constitution. I believe as it's written, not as it's interpreted. Same thing with the Bible, as it's written, not as it's interpreted. And I function as an independent. And so I'm driving down the road one day talking with my wife about all this, and she goes, just call it Bear Independent. And her tagline was break free of the system, because that's what we were doing at the time. We were coming out of North Texas suburbia and moving up to eastern Oklahoma, homesteading in the middle of nowhere. And so I'm a homesteader, and I've grown a lot of my own food and hunted a lot of my own food, and just been self-sufficient and independent of the system for the vast majority of my life, other than a few key times where I was a cog in a machine. So that's where Bear Independent comes from. And the concept here is and always will be, I'm not that special. If I can do this, you guys can do this. And so I want to use this platform to inform, encourage, edify, and motivate you guys, right? If this dumb POS can get it done, so can y'all. Like it's not easy, but it's simple, man. Just do the next right thing. And so that's where Bear Independent comes from. I'm putting comments back on now. Live chat. There they are. $10. What? James Cipriano. James Cipriano. James, I feel like my advice is not as tremendous as your name is. James Cipriano. I haven't read it yet. I've seen it, okay? I'll tell you point blank, March is going to be real low key for me. So I've seen it. I'll respond to it. I'm down here in Texas on a project. I've seen it. I will respond. Going to get a slice right now, brother. Roger that. Get two. I need a white slice. I need a white slice and a Sicilian. Okay, so if you could box that up and like FedEx instant air it to me like right now, that would be tremendous for real. And a good white slice. One, you know, some ricotta cheese, right? Right, and a little bit of that garlic butter on the crust and a little bit of Parmesan. Oh, yes. Gosh, I miss Italians. There are no Italians. I'm a FedEx guy. Ross, go to where James is at, get the pizza, bring it here, okay? And go. Ross, you're not here yet. Come on, James. Go, man. Tip your server. Roger that. Exactly, JC. Motivation is contagious, man. That's the point. Hey, if I can do this, anybody else can do this, okay? Are you on your way, Ross? Go, Ross! Go! Now! Go! 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 He said FedEx, not Jimmy John's. I love the fact that Loco American and Mark Huff are falling in love in the comments. This is great. Beer in the jarro. Amen. Yeah, no whiskey in the jarro for me. Not anymore. Only in controlled environments. You know, back in the day, I was a heathen. When I worked on the road, me and a buddy would split a handle of bourbon every night. And many a times we got a sack of white powder to go with it. And so I thank the Father daily I'm not that guy anymore. It's a bullet hole, not a tumor. It's not a tumor. Got to find your tribe. Hey, man, get after it. I love it. I either fall in love or want to fight, right? Yeah, me too. And kind of at the same time, which is weird. Thoughts on Northeast Georgia bug out? Northeast Georgia bug out. Head west, sir. ASAP. Jump, Dana. Daddy loves you. Yeah, exactly, Marlo. The fact that you love me does not negate the fact that I'm on a tower crane jumping onto a Harrier jump jet. Love has nothing to do with this. This is simple physics, Arnold. I'm not jumping, okay? What is the best way to find quarters? Go to where they are. Go to your classes, go to your concealed carry classes, go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes, go to the homesteading events, go to all your prepper meetups, just everywhere that high-value individuals congregate, that's where you need to go, all right? And you will know them by their fruits, okay? You can tell, I can tell when I look at somebody, that guy's got it, or that girl is squared away. We need to be friends with her, all right? Go to where they are. We have this tendency as Americans, like, well, if I build it, they will come. Yeah. Or you could just go play in somebody else's sandbox too, right? They're already there. So, having surgery in the morning on my dominant hand tomorrow. Roger that. You got it. Ma, is it about time?
Everything's done.
Time to eat?
Yeah, I'm just gonna trim Sammy's hair, and when you're ready, we're ready.
5?
No problem.
Okay. So yeah, go to where the high value individuals are. That's how you find how high value people, right? If do what they do, go where they are. One of the, like, I'll give you a business strategy here, right? You want to find a high value target, HVT, right? Don't go to your local Chili's at happy hour, okay? Go to the best bar in town at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and look for the people in the best suits. And if they're drinking a single malt, you drink a single malt. And you sit at the bar on your laptop and you drink your single malt, and they see you and they see you hustling and they go, hey man, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just working on this thing. Well, what is it? You wouldn't be in it. No, what is it? Oh, it's an Excel spreadsheet because I'm trying to figure out the ROI on this 50K solar panel array that I'm doing. You know about solar panels? Oh, dude, that's what I do. You want to catch catfish, you go to where the catfish are, right? You want to hunt whitetail, you go to where the whitetail are. You want high value targets, you go to where the high value targets are, okay? So how do you find good people? Go to where the good people are. If you want somebody who's a blacksmith, guess where you should be looking? Blacksmithing schools. If you want somebody who's really good at combatives, Krav Maga, right? You want somebody super ultra high speed tactical, the pew pew, go to the range, right? And preferably not a square range, right? So it's on you. You're probably not going to find them like this. You're going to have to go look for them. So you are dialed in, T. Roger that, brother. Tactical, like this. Yeah, that's the other thing is look for knife hands. If you see knife hands, you're probably in good company. That's exactly how we got investors in my former restaurant. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Don't look for forklift drivers. They look for you. That's exactly right. All right. And if you're wondering, how do you open one of these beers? The answer is always Mora. I have so many of these. They're everywhere. Arkansas, Missouri, bug out. Bug out to where? Stay local. You're close enough. Unless it's like San Andreas, or not San Andreas, I'm sorry, New Madrid fault, or, localized disaster, fire, so forth, so on. Then the answer is Spider Points. Have a place to go north, south, east, west. Going through new knees. Keeping my man card. Roger. Official sticky. Howdy. Why are you so sticky? What's wrong with you? Clean yourself up, son. Go get in the shower. Ugh, and wear sandals, too. It's disgusting. You got your Tevas on? Keep your Tevas on. Glenn Miller. What's going on, brother? Which side of Detroit is the good side? The side that's about 800 miles away is the side that I like. Why lighters wrapped in duct tape? Because you can never have enough duct tape, and it's a good place to use it, to keep it. Northwest Florida. It's an S-hole right now, which is why we are going back to fix it in early April. Sorry, sheepdog. Thoughts on preparedness in the Rocky Mountains. Don't smoke all the weed before SHTF. You should probably save some of it to calm down after SHTF and make sure that you have lots of the ammos. It's the same thing everywhere, right? Food, shelter, water, security, tribe, community, skills, tactics, abilities. It's the same thing. We lost our bug out location. Family moved back to the suburbs. Blah. Would you carry zip ties? Actually, I do. I carry several, but I don't carry them for cordage. I carry them as part of a repair kit because I've literally had a shoulder strap rip off of one of my packs one time. So I do carry a needle and thread. So a needle pulling thread. I carry a needle and thread, a spool of thread, duct tape, zip ties, super glue, and shoe goo as part of a repair kit. Because sometimes your stuff falls apart. How long is the storage life on weed anyway? If you vacuum seal it, probably like 4 or 5 days. I don't know anybody who has weed and it lasts like longer than a week. Not that I know people who have a lot of weed, but you know, I used to be in metal bands and stuff. Like, I don't think you ever have to worry about it going bad. Thought I was the only me every time anyone says so. Shoe goo. Yeah, shoe goo, man. You should get it. Not only does it start fires, but it's a pretty decent adhesive. It'll waterproof and it'll help you repair your shoes if they fall apart while you're on the trail. So, yeah, shoe goo. Can you freeze dry weed? I have no idea. Always carried zip ties for restraints. Yeah, I do have a few for that as well. I tell you what, man. I don't even want to talk about restraints because that gets into ROEs, and I don't want to do ROEs right now. We don't have time for ROEs. I have a video coming on it. It's already been uploaded. It just hasn't been released yet. So, lockpick set is part of an EDC. If you think you need it, a half a dozen picks makes sense. Use your food saver, suck the air out, weed keeps for a year. Roger that. Now go hike with your kids. How about that double bass pedal solo, 600 BPM? Not right now, but maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I can do 600 BPM with both feet. I can't do it with one foot, but I can do it with both feet. I love how this turned into a weed conversation. I am that person. Since we're here, I cannot smoke weed. I am the worst high person you've ever met. I'm literally like, they're coming for us. They're everywhere, man. The reptilian overlords are going to come in here at any minute. This is literally a knife hand. Like, I get super paranoid. I get the worst dry mouth that's ever existed. Like, I get a headache. Horrendous. I've had a few people, especially with like, my back and my shoulders and stuff. They're like, yo, man, you just need some weed. I'm like, I don't think I do. They're like, yeah, just a little bit. I'm like, I don't think so. And they're like, just try it. Like, all right. 2 hits later, I'm like wearing copper wire, like as a hat, just like, that's it, man. They're coming for us, and they're gonna kill everybody, and we need to, like, I'm just the worst high person on earth. Like, so, yeah, stick to the truck fuel, exactly. Sounds like, I might be, man. Yeah, I'm an uppers guy, not a downers guy. Yeah, no, listen, I agree. I do think, yes, I have tried CBD. For me, it didn't really do anything, truthfully. As far as vets with PTSD, and that I really do think if treated properly, used properly, I do think marijuana can be medicine. I don't think it's exclusively medicine, and I think that a lot of people use it recreationally as if it's medicine, man. But I do think it definitely has some wonderful applications for people when used properly. So, and again, bear independent. Why should I get to tell you that you can't smoke a plant? As long as you're not out bothering anybody, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. But you don't get to cost me money, taxpayer money. You don't get to infringe anybody else's rights, and you assume full responsibility for you and your high AF actions, okay? Other than that, I'm good, man. Don't care. Chasing life, I'll do it tomorrow. Do you do anything in an average manner? I'm incapable of. My mom, I'll have to sit down and interview my mom tomorrow so she can tell you the fact that I don't have a gray area. I'm just like, either I'm not doing it or we're crushing it. There's no in between. Kratom, I know nothing about it other than the name. Ross, are you here with my pizza yet? What's going on? I'm waiting. I would love to see that interview. Jennifer, Veterans for Truth. What's up, sister? How are you this evening? You guys should check out her channel too. What do you have at 14,000, 15,000 subs now? It's a good channel. You guys should check her out. She was on. She was aware of the bear back when we were under 10K subs. DPMS Oracle AR-15. Goodbye. Yeah, man. I just shot a video with it Sunday talking about how lots of people love to knock the gun, but the one I have has been cleaned 3 times and it has 4,200 rounds through it. No issues. So yeah, go for it. Tom, my mom is the opposite of a drill sergeant. My mom is a saint, and yeah, she's the sweetest person on earth. How do I stay motivated? This is going to be the last question of the evening. I'm turning comments off, and then I got to go get my chow on. How do I stay motivated? Short answer, I literally have a sign hanging in my office that says there are people counting on you. Okay? And that starts with my wife and my kids, and then my extended family, my mom, my sisters. I have a brother. Y'all probably didn't know that. I have 4 sisters and a brother, and a half a dozen adopted brothers and sisters throughout my life. And then my tribe. And then, and by tribe, I mean new friends, older friends, just people that I love. I have my mag. I have the remnants of the Texas mag. I have the Oklahoma mag. I have 570 patrons that I feel a deep responsibility to. There are 29,000 people here on YouTube that I feel a deep responsibility to. And so there are people counting on me. There are people counting on me to show up and do what I do. And I truthfully think, I really do believe inside here that what I do is not that special. However, I've heard from enough people that no, it absolutely is special. That it keeps me going. I've talked about on camera before, and this is not an I'm me thing. This has nothing to do with me. This is the hand of the Most High. I got an email 6 months ago from a guy who said I was sitting on the edge of my bed about to put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger, and your video, Father God Loves Soldiers, came on. And I set the gun down and I listened. And I got up and put the gun in the safe, and I cried until the sun came up, and then I emailed you. Thank you. I was like, dude, don't thank me. You thank him, okay? Not that special. Broken vessel. I have now, by the hand of the Most High, gotten six of those emails. And so even when it's not easy to do what I do, and this is just a little tiny piece of what I do. I just did a 50-minute long State of the Bear address on Patreon talking about just everything that's going on with us and with me and why we're taking it easy in March. Even with all that going on, I'm deeply aware of the fact that there are people counting on me to show up. To show up in real life, to show up on this side of the iPhone, to answer emails, to field phone calls, answer questions, pray over people, talk with people, hug people, encourage people, tear their house down so that FEMA can get out of their ass and then go back and build them a new one. Like, for whatever reason, I'm here in 4-dimensional space-time. And I'm doing my damn broken best to do what the Father tells me to do. The end. The downstream effect of that is that I feel a deep regard for every one of y'all. And so failure's not an option for me. It's just not an option. The push-pull of that is I have to be careful that I don't descend so far into that obligation that I sacrifice myself for somebody else. and I fail to operate from a position of strength, which is why I'm doing my best in March to husa, get focused, get strong again, and come back in April better than ever. But that's how I stay motivated, man, because it ain't about me, right? It's not me. It's not about me at all. It's about the Father and the myriad blessings that He has given me to steward, to just hold on to just for a short period of time. And I'm keenly aware of the fact that there's a timeline on everything, man. This is for a time. I don't know how long. But I know in here it's for a time. Everything's for a time. And so I just simply don't have the option to not perform. And I'm cool with that. That's the way I'm built. I do pretty well under pressure. Occasionally, I need a 5-minute timeout. But I get stuff done. And so that's how I stay motivated. I don't think about me, probably to my own detriment. I don't think about me. I think about everybody else. And then I do force myself occasionally to focus back on myself and make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do so that I can continue to affect change on target for everybody else that I feel a deep regard to perform for. So that's my answer. How do I stay motivated? Ain't me, bro. So, yeah. Cool. All right, y'all. I gotta get off of here. No, you do not get PJF's email. Doesn't work that way, man. Roger. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are incredible. Hey, is my wife on here? Hami, where are you at? Hami's here. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Babe, I see people talking about ducks. My wife must be here. There you are, honey. I see you. My wife likes poultry more than people. Okay? She has 40 baby chickens and 10 baby ducks and 10 baby turkeys. So pray for me. Good night, honey. I'll call you in a little bit. I'm gonna eat chow and then I'll be in touch. And good night, everybody else. I love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being along for the ride. I literally couldn't do it without you guys. I'm blown away by the growth of the channel. Jay Johns, man. Good night, brother. Good night, every one of you guys. Yes, I hate ducks. Aname. Email her. Tell her to shut it down.